Let's go to the hotline now. Talk a little Camping World Truck Series with a side of Nationwide this week. Here's James Buescher. What's going on, bud?
Not too much. How are y'all today?
We're doing all right. Let's talk a little bit about your day at Watkins Glen and the Nationwide car. 17th place finish at the end of the day, but I think you were racier than that at least some junctures in that deal, weren't you?
Definitely had a better car than 17th place. Our AccuDoc Solution Chevy was fast from the time we unloaded. I got up to speed fairly quick. I thought for never have ran a Nationwide car on a road course. So, we were probably about 15th, or I think we ended up 13th or so in practice, and or maybe 14th or something. I don't really remember, but we qualified 10th and ran right around 10th all day long, and had a problem at the end. I thought I had a flat tire and came to pit road with 5 or 6 to go and lost a bunch of spots, and obviously went one lap down, and just wasn't enough time to recover from it. We definitely had a really good car, and it was a fun race for me.
When you say you thought you had a flat tire, is there an implication there that perhaps you didn't?
I don't think I did.
Oh, geez.
I went through some oil or something, I guess, the best I can figure. About turn 6, the car just took off like it had a flat tire, and then it did the exact same thing in turn 7, which is right before pit road. And, I made a quick call to come to pit road, and, not the chance going off into turn 1 and blowing the tire out and, going and hitting the wall with the car that was, pretty fast. So, better be safe than sorry. Normally, whenever I stay out and think that I might not have a problem, not real sure what it is, then the tire blows and I hit the wall. So you get caught either way. There's no right or wrong to do,
Of all the places on the circuit to take a chance and end up with either running out of gas or having a flat tire out on the course, Watkins Glen, not a good place. You go into turn 1 and have a flat tire, you're just not coming back.
No, absolutely not. And if it would have happened, turn 3 or 4, where, maybe turn 5 and 6 and 7, I had time to feel it out and see if it was a problem with the car or a problem with the track surface, then we probably wouldn't have pitted. But, it was right there at pit road entry, and I didn't want to chance it. So, we just came to pit road and put 4 tires on, and the car was actually better after that pit stop than it had been all day long, and turned some really quick lap times, and, had a better race car than 17th by far.
Back to the real deal this weekend, heading to Michigan. Truck Series back in action on a racetrack that you've told us before that you enjoy, and it's one of those tracks where the driver's got a lot of input by moving up or down that racetrack. It's plenty wide to change your approach, isn't it?
It's definitely plenty wide. Michigan's a lot of fun, and I didn't run so well there last year, but I felt like I was pretty good there 2 years ago, and ran well in the ARCA race there 2 years ago. So, we're taking truck 11 that we run a lot on a lot of the intermediate tracks, and it's a good truck for me, and always runs up front for us wherever we take it. And, I'm pretty confident going into the weekend that we'll be able to, have another top 10, top 5 finish if nothing goes wrong, and keep chugging away at that points lead that we've been chipping away at. But, definitely looking forward to it.
We had a chance to chat for a few minutes out on the qualifying grid this past weekend before you went out to make your Nationwide qualifying run. And I got to tell you, I'm hearing you've just kind of got an air of confidence about you right now. It's no longer, well, if we catch a couple of breaks, I think we can win one here. We're going to win one. It's just a question of when now.
I think it's definitely a question of when. The last 2 races we've been second and third, so we've got really good trucks every week, and we've been really fast, and we've been close to winning them, but just haven't put the whole thing together. And I think I can't really pick a racetrack that's coming up that I would say we have a better shot at. I feel like we have a good shot everywhere we go, and we're really looking forward to this last stretch of races to the end of the year. And I think we've got a really good shot at winning this championship, and I think we definitely have a good shot at winning some races. But I think once we win our first one, the seconds and thirds will come a lot easier. But it's just figuring out how to get the first one first.
That's got to be a great feeling to look at the schedule and not really be able to focus on any one race as saying that's probably where we'll have our best chance because you're just running so well everywhere right now. That's a neat situation to be in.
Well, I feel like our intermediate trucks are really strong. That's probably our strongest suit that we have going at Turner Motorsports in the Truck Series. And there's, I think six or so of them left, including Michigan this weekend. I could be wrong a little bit, but there's quite a few of them. And then the short track races that are on there is Bristol and New Hampshire and Martinsville. And Bristol and New Hampshire we ran really well at last year, and Martinsville we ran pretty well in the spring. So and the speedway races we're really fast at too. So like I said, I don't think there's one on the schedule that we're looking at saying I don't know how we're going to get through that race, and I don't know what to expect at it. But I think we know that we have good trucks for all these races coming up, and a good fleet of trucks in the shop, and a lot of things good happening at Turner Motorsports.
It's a team that as a whole is on the upswing right now, isn't it? I mean, multiple trucks, multiple nationwide cars, all running extremely well. I mean, there's really no weak link in that operation.
No, it definitely is. And, in the nationwide side of it, all four cars, it seems like we're always right next to each other in practice speeds. We're always right next to each other on the racetrack. The last green, white checker in the nationwide race this weekend, all four of us, I think, were right alongside each other. So, it's not like one team has an advantage over the other three on the nationwide side, and the same thing goes for the truck side. I mean, Mark Martin and I qualified side by side at Pocono, so our equipment's fair across the board, and it's all really fast for all seven teams. So I definitely have a good opportunity at Turner Motorsports and can be happier.
I don't know that we've talked about this up to now, about what the long-term plan is for you, or if you even know at this point. Is it 2012 back in the Truck Series? Is there a move to nationwide, or has the discussion even happened yet?
Discussion really hasn't happened. There's been a little bit of talk, but we haven't really got into any kind of deciding on what we're doing for next year. Right now we're focused on finishing out 2011 really strong, and as long as I'm back in NASCAR in any form or fashion, I'll be happy. So whatever happens, and if it's nationwide, that's great. If it's trucks again, that's great too. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Of course, the ultimate decision would be to whether or not to come back to defend your Truck Series championship. That'd be a nice problem to have.
That would be a great problem to have. That's what we're focused on right now.
Attaboy. Keep at 'em, and we'll see you in Michigan this weekend. Thank you, my friend, as always.
All right, thank you.
That's James Buescher. Joins us every week at this time, coming on strong, up to third in points in the Truck Series and closing the gap quite rapidly here in recent weeks.